Welcome to your deep dive. We're diving into 5 productivity secrets for entrepreneurs today.
Yeah.
But don't worry, you don't have to be running a business to get something out of this.
Right.
We're talking about reclaiming your time and sanity, just no matter what your schedule looks like.
Exactly. Think of it as like a cheat sheet, right?
Okay.
To getting more done without having to be up all night every night. We're going to uncover those hidden time sucks and then give you some actionable strategies.
Yes.
That you can use to kind of conquer your to-do list.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Secret number 1 is outsourcing like a pro, even if pro isn't in your current job description.
Yeah.
This guy says that we should hand off those urgent but not important tasks.
Yeah.
So it's the stuff that you're like, oh, I have to get this done.
Right.
But it's not directly related to profit or those big picture goals.
Right.
And I'm already feeling less stressed just hearing that.
Right. It's about being strategic with your energy.
Yeah.
Think about it this way. What are the tasks that you just you dread?
Yo, tell me.
The ones that just drain your energy and they eat up all your time.
Yes.
Maybe it's scheduling meetings. Maybe it's that email overload that we all deal with. Or maybe it's something like those expense reports, those tedious things. What if you could just give those to somebody else, right?
Oh my gosh.
And free up your mental bandwidth for the stuff that you're really good at, the stuff that you actually enjoy doing.
It's like that meme.
Yeah.
Where it's outsourcing, and then it's just a person on vacation, on a beach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What I think of.
And that's where, freelancers come in, virtual assistants.
Yeah.
This guide even mentions there are websites out there that specifically connect you with these skilled professionals. It's almost like having a whole team at your beck and call without having to deal with the overhead
right
of hiring employees.
Exactly.
So yeah, imagine what you could accomplish if you weren't bogged down by those energy draining tasks.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, on to secret number 2, the 80-20 rule, which I've definitely heard of, but I don't know if I've ever fully grasped the concept.
So it's also known as the Pareto Principle, and it essentially says that 80% of your results, come from just 20% of your effort.
Okay.
Now, before you go and freak out and be like, oh my gosh, I got to figure out what that 20% is.
Yeah.
Think about it like this. What are the tasks that when you get them done, you're like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I just moved the needle forward.
Okay, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So it's not about doing everything. It's just about figuring out those high impact actions.
Exactly.
That really drive results.
Okay.
And the guide even suggests applying this to your to-do list, which
just
feels
very doable. Instead of just going, top to bottom, and just kind of all right, I'm just going to grind through this list.
Yes.
Prioritize, right? What are the things that, if I'm thinking about that 20%,
right?
What are the things that are really going to make a difference?
Totally.
So as an example, let's say, you're launching a new product.
Okay.
Instead of, spending hours and hours, tweaking, the font on your website, which, let's be honest, nobody's going to notice right away.
Yeah.
Focus on, crafting a really compelling marketing campaign that's actually going to reach your audience.
Yes.
That's your 20%, right?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So it's about being laser focused on the things that are actually going to contribute to your goals, both professionally and personally, right? It's about working smarter, not harder.
Absolutely, yeah.
Speaking of working smarter, this guide also talks about managing your energy, not just your time.
Okay.
What's the difference?
That's a great question. So often we treat our days as this block of time that just has to be filled, right?
Yeah.
And we're scheduling meetings and we're just kind of going.
Yes.
What if instead we actually paid attention to our natural energy rhythms?
Oh.
Right? When are you most alert? When are you most focused?
Okay.
And conversely, when do you hit that afternoon slump?
Oh.
Right? We've all been there.
I feel that. Yeah.
Where it's 2.0, 3.0.
I'm a morning person for sure. By 3 p.m. it is rough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, the guide kind of suggests that we schedule those really demanding tasks during those peak performance times.
Oh, okay.
So, if you're a morning person, like you said, that's when you tackle those big projects.
Right.
The things that require the most focus, maybe the most creativity, you know, and then save those less demanding tasks, the things like maybe it's checking emails or maybe it's, just kind of like organizing files.
Right.
Save those for those lower energy periods.
That makes so much sense. Like I'm already feeling like, ooh, if I just kind of plan my day around my energy, I could get so much more done. It's like trying to swim upstream,
Totally.
You're just eventually going to wear yourself out.
Exactly. And that's what we want to avoid. Speaking of working smarter, let's talk about how a little help from our robot friends can actually boost our productivity.
Okay. Robot friends might be a little much for me right now, but I'm intrigued. So this guy does talk about the power of automation, specifically like using AI, which I have to admit, I'm fascinated and terrified by AI.
I get it.
Like, is it going to steal my job? What's going to happen?
It's a valid concern. But this guide, at least, kind of frames it more as AI becoming our like super efficient assistant.
Oh, okay.
Rather than like replacing us entirely, right?
Okay.
So think about it. How much time do you spend on just like really repetitive tasks, like each day?
A lot, probably more than I even realized.
Right. Things like scheduling, maybe, answering those really basic customer questions or creating social media posts.
Oh, so much time. And it's like, I don't realize how much those little things add up.
Exactly. And that's where AI can kind of like step in and take over because we're already seeing AI-powered tools that can handle those tasks like really, really well.
Right.
And with incredible speed and accuracy, which honestly, sometimes we don't even have as humans.
It's true.
The guide actually mentioned AI chatbots that can just handle customer service inquiries.
Wow.
24/7.
Yeah.
Which frees up like the human representatives to focus on more like, complex issues. There's even AI-powered writing assistants that can help you, maybe draft emails or articles or even like social media posts.
Okay, no, that is actually really helpful.
Right.
It's like having a whole team of people, but it's just, AI working in the background.
Behind the scenes, yeah.
It even mentions, I think, like a website builder, Bookmarks Ada.
Yeah.
That uses AI to like create websites in minutes.
It's pretty wild how fast this technology is developing.
It's really scary.
It is.
How fast it's moving.
It is. It is.
I'm not going to lie.
But the best part is that, as AI gets more sophisticated, it actually frees us up to focus on the things that like humans are uniquely good at, right?
Yeah.
Things like creativity or critical thinking or problem solving.
So it's not about replacing humans. It's about like using it to
cementing
yeah,
our capability.
Exactly. Okay, I like it. Okay, ready for the final secret.
Hit me.
This one was a little bit of an eye-opener for me because apparently multitasking is a myth.
Yeah, it's funny, right?
It is.
It's like we're told, especially now, in today's world where everything's moving so fast that we have to be good at multitasking.
Right. Like you have to do all these things at once.
You got to wear all the hats.
Right.
But the research is pretty clear.
Right.
Our brains just aren't wired to like effectively focus on multiple things at once.
Okay.
Especially if those tasks are complex.
Right.
Or they require like your full attention.
Well, I'm a chronic multitasker, but even I have to admit that, like, whenever I'm trying to juggle too many things, something always falls through the cracks. It really is. It's like, I don't know if you've ever had this, where you walk into a room and you're like, why am I here?
Oh, all the time.
That's multitasking mayhem to me.
Yeah.
So the guide says that instead of spreading ourselves so thin, we should aim for single tasking. Is that even a real word?
I don't know if it's a real word, but I love the concept.
Okay.
Right. And actually, it cites a study that found that multitasking can reduce productivity by as much as 40%.
Oh my gosh.
Which is huge.
40%. So you're basically just giving away half of your workday.
It's like it's not even it's time, but it's also energy, right?
Okay.
Because that context switching.
Okay, so how do we break free? Like what do we actually do?
Well, I think it starts with being really mindful.
Okay.
And so like next time you find yourself, kind of like tabbing between, different screens or trying to do multiple things at once.
Yes, always.
Just pause for a second and say, okay, what's the most important thing I need to be focusing on right now?
I like that.
And then give that task your full undivided attention.
Okay.
You might be surprised. at how much more you actually get done when you're fully present.
Yeah, it's like that saying, if you want something done right, do it yourself, but also just do one thing at a time.
One thing at a time.
Okay. So that's all 5 secrets from 5 productivity secrets for entrepreneurs. We talked about outsourcing, the 80-20 rule, managing our energy, embracing automation, and the myth of multitasking, which I think I'm still wrapping my head around. But
it's a process.
It's a process. That's what we're learning in this deep dive. We packed a lot in.
We did.
But I think what I'm taking away from this is these are great starting points, right?
Yeah.
And we should all just figure out what works for us.
I love that. Yeah, experiment.
Yeah.
Right. Like see what works. Adapt these strategies to your own needs. Don't be afraid to try something new.
So it's all about just creating a system that works for you.
100%.
That helps you achieve your goals without burning out.
That's it.
Okay, I love it. As we wrap up, what is one takeaway that really resonated with you? What's one action step?
Oh, good question.
That you can take to reclaim some time, be more productive?
For me, I think it's really about that being intentional with my energy, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that. So I'm gonna really try to schedule my most demanding tasks for those peak performance times.
Okay.
And just see how it goes.
I love that. I'm very inspired to conquer this multitasking thing, one task at a time.
There you go.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into productivity.
This was fun.
Until next time, happy and productive working.